Good evening, everyone. Well, just another video for a Sunday night. I don't know. I had to share something. uh, I just read some article in Spiegel magazine. Actually, it was an interview of John Bolton, our wonderful ambassador to the United Nations, was interviewed by this magazine. And he essentially called the newest NIE, National Intelligence Estimate, an attempted putsch. Um, it's the German word for a coup d'etat, essentially. So what he said was that it was a coup d'etat, or an attempted one, against this administration by the intelligence community at large. And he also said that the intelligence estimate was being politicized by the intelligence community itself. Now, if you followed all this up until now, this is basically the most laughable statement that anyone could make. Although he means it, and he's actually quite serious about it. So the National Intelligence Estimate is perfectly serious as long as it supports war and is in support of an attack on Iran or any other country. But it is being called politicized by Mr. John Bolton and others when it doesn't fit his preconception of foreign policy under this administration. So to go on with this, there was a completely ridiculous editorial in the Wall Street Journal yesterday, and I'd like to share some of it with you because I think we all need to know what is being said in elite circles. And basically, the funny thing is, Bush has now fallen out of favor since, well, he has become basically the bungling idiot in public that he is in private, and it's becoming obvious to everyone in Washington circles, and so now that seems to serve as an embarrassment. But let me read you some excerpts from the Wall Street Journal here. The it's called Iran Curveball. President Bush has been scrambling to rescue his Iran policy after this week's intelligence switcheroo, but the fact that the White House has had to spin so furiously to sign is a sign of how badly it has bungled the episode. In sum, Mr. Bush and his staff have allowed the intelligence bureaucracy to frame a new judgment in a way that has undermined 4 years of U.S. efforts to stop Iran's nuclear ambitions. Evidently, the Wall Street Journal has just realized that Karl Rove and other spin masters are no longer on board in order to portray the opinions on their editorial page. So, things are getting into trouble here. And so the Wall Street Journal is now distancing itself from Mr. Bush. The kind of national security mismanagement that has bedeviled this Bush presidency needs to stop. Recall the internal disputes over post-invasion Iraq, the smearing of Ahmad Shalabi by the State Department and the CIA. Shalabi is, by the way, a convicted criminal in many, many nations, and can't even be taken seriously other than basically a thief in a three-piece suit. And Wall Street Journal goes on, and the hanging of Scooter Libby out to dry after bungling the response to Joseph Wilson's bogus accusations, and so on. Yeah, well, and so on. You need to read this editorial. It's basically quite comical. And all I have to say is, so now the Wall Street Journal is against Mr. Bush, and so they will probably choose someone else because things are not going their way. And they're already rooting for the Israelis, and an editorial in the Jerusalem Times, which essentially says that the entire NIE estimate is bogus, it's false, and Iran is a huge threat to everyone in the world, including America, and that everything is wrong, and that they will reserve their options and have everything on the table. And only, of course, Mr. Bush wasn't too convincing last week, in case you didn't see his last press conference. Anyway, that's my little video for tonight. Pay attention, and let's bombard our so-called representatives in government with these messages. And, we're not stupid. We may not be brilliant, as Joe said, but we're not stupid. Anyone can see what is happening. Good night.